Well, hello friends. It is sloth day coming up. So we are going to make a little clay sloth, which you can hang on a necklace if you'd like. Or you can just hang it from a piece of string. You do you, friends. Okay, so we're going to make a gray-brown, which I've taken this kind of ooky brown and some gray, and I mix them together. And this is polymer clay, so the more you work it, the warmer and softer it gets. You just want to mix those colors together to make the color that you like. I'm gonna got my ruler here to show you how much clay I'm working with. I'm gonna take a very small ball of this color that I've made. This still might be a little too big. Cut that in half. You can use fancy tools if you have them. I've got pretty long fingernails, so I'm just going to use my fingernails. So I've got this little tiny sloth head. This circle that is about 1 centimeter in diameter. Diameter means across. Let me zoom in so you guys can see. So we're going to keep going, got a little tiny sloth head. We're going to take some more of this gray brown. I'm going to make a sloth body. So this is going to start off as a circle, and then I'm going to kind of flatten it so it gets a little more oblong. And that's about, 2 centimeters. So I'm going to put those together. The only bad part about having fingernails is that you end up with a little bit of smoothing. Okay, so then you're going to take more of this gray brown, and I'm going to make some arms for my sloth buddy. Arms and legs. So sloths like to hang from tree limbs, right? So I'm going to have a stick of some sort to dry this on, or to mold it around. That way I know where my necklace string is going to go, because you want to be able to hang it from there. So I'm just gonna mold it around the stick. That way there's room for that necklace. 2 more legs. Okay, so maybe now my obnoxious fingernails are kind of getting in the way. Okay, so we have 1 leg. Now we're going to flip him on his back, put on the other leg. You can use anything to blend the seams together. You could use a pencil eraser. Just anything that's kind of the right size. Oh no, I'm sticking in the wrong place. There we go. The front arms and the back arms have stuck together, friends. Okay. Definitely want them to be separate, so I'm going to just keep working on it until I get it exactly the way that I want it. Trimming some of the extra. This arm was a little thick. Okay. Okay. He's a little rough, but we're gonna keep working. Now I'm gonna make 2 different colors for his face. Sloths have some lighter markations on their face and darker patches like around their eyes. So I'm gonna make a lighter gray, mixing some of this color, some peach, because I don't have white. So I'm gonna make a color. See what I can get. Okay, so I've made this lighter color. It's still a shade of gray, kind of a beigey gray. And I'm going to make this the lighter part of his face. So I'm gonna roll it out and flatten it. And that's a little bit big. So I'm gonna cut it in half. Roll it out and flatten it. So that's gonna be my little sloth face. I'm gonna put it on there. So he's turning his head towards us. So this is gonna be the front of his face. Okay. And now for a little bit of a dark spot where his eyes are gonna go. I'm mixing some of this darker brown with some black. You don't want to use just black because you want the black to stand out for his eyeballs. But this darker brown, you do want it to be a darker brown. Okay. Getting close. Okay, and I'm gonna cut a little tiny piece of this because we're just gonna have little tiny eye patches. Make a ball. And actually I think that's too dark, so I'm gonna lighten this up a little bit with some more of this gray brown, and I'll be right back. Okay, I got it to the color that I wanted. Put a little bit on the face, about where the eyes are gonna go. Now I'm going to squish them flat with my tool. Sloth-ish, it's coming together. Ugh, these legs just keep sticking. It's okay. I shall fix it when the face is done. So now we're going to take some of that solid black to do his little tiny eyes and his little tiny nose. But these have got to be little pieces of the black. For reference, it's like a millimeter. Very, very small. Now I'm actually going to cut it in half. Balling it up. And I've stuck it on the end of my tool. Get off my finger. Oh my gosh, there we go. So now I've got one eye, 2 eyes, and a nose. Ooh, that nose is a little big, but that's okay. So I'm gonna press that on a little bit harder, that way it won't come off. Not thrilled with the nose. You might take it off and make it smaller, or just reshape it. Make it a little more nose-like. Okay, so once you have all of your pieces on. You can continue to smooth out any fingernail markings. Smooth out, give him some texture. Looks like fur. And depending on the type of clay you have, you might be able to let it air dry until it's hard, or it might need to be baked in the oven. Definitely ask for help if it needs to be baked, and do not stick any of these plastic sticks in the oven if it is an oven baked clay. But when mine is dry, we will come back and I will show you it hanging from his necklace. I'm gonna find a chain for him to hang from so I can wear my sloth for Sloth Day. Okay. If you want to add any accessories to your sloth creature friend, maybe you have some green, you could add a leaf because he's hanging from a tree branch. Let's see what we got here. Make a couple leaves. If your clay gets hard to work with, maybe it's gotten too warm. Mine's very, very soft because my hands are quite warm. Let it sit for a minute and come back. But my little leaf. You could have some leaves thrown in there. But I'm going to let him sit to dry. I'm going to double check the instructions to see if he needs to bake, and we will be back. Our cute little sloth friend has been baked. Make sure you use the instructions on your specific type of clay to figure out the temperature and time. Now we're just going to string him up. You can use a chain, ribbon, wire. This is some, I think, pleather type of stripping or string. Just going to make a simple little sloth necklace for Sloth Day.